Hi, cross watchers for Libra. Welcome to your November cross watching video. This is a video for those of you who are curious about a Libra in your life. See what's going on with the energies in November. If you're a Libra and you're watching, guys, keep in mind these are still general readings. It may resonate for you, it may not. Also, this is for the cross watcher, so your person may not be on my channel watching for you, but it may resonate, it may not. As always, these are general readings. We're going to see what is happening, what is in the best and highest vibrational and highest good for all to know involved with Crosswatcher and Libra. What needs to be known for Crosswatchers of Libra for November 2019? We're using an old school deck here, guys. This is a discontinued deck. I love this deck. And I like it because it gives us a chance to really dig deep here into the psyche. So we're using this for November. We have finances and career is coming up here. And this is kind of coming up as like a foundation of the energy with Libra in the month of November and what might be affecting the way that they're dealing with you. Right? So if you feel like Libra's been distant, or you feel like Libra's been weird in some way, or you're waiting for them to make a move and they're not making a move, or they seem to be cranky or stressed out, they're really focused on career and on financial things at this time. And they might kind of feel like they can't move forward with you because of where their finances are. I feel for some reason, and, you know, I hope not for the Libras in my life and Libras out there. But for some reason, I feel that a lot of you are dealing with a Libra where they're being hit with some very unexpected expense. And they're angry because it's like they were just kind of coming out. They were just kind of improving or getting to a better place. And it's like, God, now it's this. And it's funny because in the weekly forecast readings that I do for the zodiac signs, something like that came up for Libra a couple of weeks ago, where there was like this cha-cha where they were frustrated, like they're making progress. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And they're feeling very frustrated. So whatever happened, this may have happened in October, and in November they're coming out of it, or they're recovering from it, or they're putting in more hours, or they're doing some kind of a side hustle to get something taken care of. Maybe they're stressed. Maybe for those of you who live in a part of the world where we're coming into the holiday season, maybe they're stressed over expenses in the holidays and they're trying to come up with money for that. But there's a lot of energy here with like stress and you know, really trying to get finances and get money right. I feel some of you are dealing with a Libra whose family is really pressuring them financially. Okay, either they're wanting Libra to help them out with their financial expenses, or in some cases I'm even seeing like moving, like they're wanting to like live with Libra. So there could be some stress here around moving. There could be international issues for some of you. Maybe their family is overseas and they're wanting Libra like to get them immigration to where they're at, you know, to get them visas or whatever, so that they can, you know, go and live where you all are at. But I just feel there's these financial pressures, right? And they're just really focused on that. And they seem to be having a hard time thinking about much of anything else, at least in the beginning part of the month. So if your Libra seems distant or cranky, or if you feel like, man, I thought they were interested in me and they're totally cooling off, they have some financial stresses and pressures in the beginning part of the month at least. See, next here we have separation. Crosswatcher, don't freak out, because I'm going to tell you something. I've worked with this deck for a long time. It's actually one of the first decks I learned to read on. I'm going to say one of the first. It's not the first, but one of the first. Because I used to be very afraid of tarot. I was terrified of tarot once upon a time. And I went and I took Doreen Virtue's classes and I felt safe there. And so I heard her talk a lot about this deck. And she even said this could be a temporary separation. It could be that somebody's traveling for work. It could be that something is happening where you all are just very busy and not able to spend a whole lot of time together. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you all are permanently breaking up. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is like a final breakup. For some of you, especially those of you where you're dealing with a Libra and there's financial pressures and concerns, if you all have been having a rocky relationship for some time, say you all have been living together or you're married, you may take a little bit of a time apart from each other. You may be like, you know what, I don't know if I want to break up yet, but I need some time to think. There may be a trial separation for some of you, but I feel for the majority of you, this Libra is like just feeling like they need to get away and they need to handle some business. Okay, so they may be going and looking at the job market in another city, another town, another state. Maybe they're going back home to another state or city or to another country to deal with some financial concerns and to deal with things involving business. But even when you look at the card, like he looks so sad to be leaving her. Like she seems so sad that he's leaving and he just has his hand over his heart. He's all suited up like he's going into battle, right? Like, let me just go fight this battle. God willing, you know, I'm going to be back and I'm going to be with you. So, you know, he may be going off to fight some battle, but his heart is here with her. And so for those of you that, like, if you've been dealing with a Libra and you all are in separation, you all aren't in union right now, and you haven't heard from them, but you feel their energy, and you're just kind of like, man, I can kind of sense, I can feel like Libra's, like, thinking about me, or I can feel like Libra maybe is missing me, or they're going through a hard time, and you may be really missing Libra, and you're like, why aren't they reaching out? Like, I feel their energy. Why aren't they reaching out? You may even be dreaming about this person. They're not reaching out because there's a lot going on with career, finances, and some responsibilities that they feel like they need to get taken care of right now. And they might be thinking about you, Crosswatcher. They may be missing you, but they got some fires to put out. They got some battles to fight right now. If you are worried and concerned, I feel like this is saying that, you know, the angels are watching over Libra, you know, protecting Libra, you know, helping them as they go off to fight these battles. And I know in this depiction here in this card, it's depicted by a male and a female, and I'm saying that Libra is this soldier here. I don't care if your Libra is male or female or non-binary or whatever in the heck. I just feel that Libra's energy is being represented. In this case, it happens to be a male. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Your Libra could be male, female, whatever the case. Or like I said, non-binary. You know, but I just feel like their energy is being represented here by this individual here with their hand over their heart. Like they want to be with you, but they have some battles. They've got some battles they need to fight. So even if you're in the relationship with this person, you know, even if it's not a physical separation, you just kind of feel like they're being distant. It's because, again, they got some battles to fight. We have chemistry here, right? So there's a pull towards you, right? There's a desire to be with you, right? So even if there's like an emotional distance, or even if they're not communicating with you very thoroughly what's going on with their stresses and their worries, there's going to be a lot of like physical desire or a physical closeness. I feel in some way those of you where your Libra is in your life and, you know, there isn't a physical separation, or they're in communication with you, they may have like physical contact on the brain, right? They may just kind of be like, you know, all over you, or like any chance that you all get to communicate, they may just kind of, you know, want to be touching you or be in bed with you or start talking about that stuff. And I feel it's because you're dealing with a Libra that when they're very stressed, that's like an outlet for them. That physical touch, that physical intimacy is an outlet for them. For some of you, you might just kind of be like, no, I want to, you know, take it slow, or I want to, you know, I don't want to. But you might be getting a little worked up, and you may kind of be falling yourself, getting pulled into some kind of a seduction. Okay, so understand this. If Crosswatcher, if it's something you're going to feel bad about later, like, oh, I didn't want to do that, or I wanted to take the physical stuff slow, or I don't want to be physical with this person until I know where I stand with them. If that's where you're at, you may need to be the one to initiate a little bit of a timeout, a little bit of a separation, because I don't feel like Libra can leave you alone physically. And I think a lot of it is they find a lot of comfort in you. They feel a strong chemistry with you. Keep in mind with chemistry is more than just attraction, right? Because we've all had that instance where we'll see somebody, we'll be like, oh my goodness, that person is gorgeous. And then they open their mouth and they start talking and you're like, oh, never mind. Woo, no, just kidding, right? Like we've all had that experience where, you know, somebody can be really good looking, but you spend some time with them, you talk to them, and you're like, I'm not feeling it. And then there's some people that, whether they're good looking or okay looking or maybe even not that good looking, but you start talking to them or you all start vibing and you're like, whoa, like you know, you're like really turned on all of a sudden, right? So chemistry isn't just simply about being attracted. Like there's a connection, there's some kind of a soul bond, there's some kind of like a vibe, there's like your, you know, your atoms and stuff are just really like vibing with each other. And so they feel this way with you, and they're stressed and they're going through their stuff, and I don't think they can really kind of, you know, help themselves from trying to be with you, and you feel that pull too. And so you're gonna find yourself giving in. So if you're gonna give in and then like kick yourself later or hate yourself later for it, you may need to be strong and say, look, Libra, you know, like you're going through a lot, I'm going through a lot, like, you know, maybe we just kind of need to, you know, call it I don't know if I want to say call it quits, but take a little bit of a break. Like, I'm going to let you focus on you. I don't want to, you know, interfere or distract you from what you need to do. So you might need to kind of bow out here for some of you if you're going to be upset with yourself for giving into the physical connection, because I feel the physical connection is very intense. If you're okay with it, you're okay with it. It's not, I'm not telling you what to do either way. I'm just saying that if you're going to be upset about it, because I'm looking at this card and she seems a little bit like timid or like, oh, I really shouldn't be doing this, right? And he's like, oh, I really shouldn't be, but man, I can't help it, right? Like, it's just kind of like, you know, if you're going to feel like you got caught up in the moment and then just later say, I wish I had taken it slower, I wish I hadn't done that, then you need, can't talk, you may need to take a little step away. Oh my goodness, look at this. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world, okay? I feel this is a deeper layer for some of you where you have a Libra that you have not been in contact with, okay? I feel like they want to give you this connection. They want to go off with you. They want to be like, we see this couple here, like, you know, on a wedding day. Like, they want to give you that. But financially, they're not in a situation where they can do that. Career-wise, they're not in the situation that they can do that. And they don't want to come back and reach out to you and waste your time. So some of you are not hearing from the person in that sense. Some of you, you know this Libra is married, right? You feel a connection with this person and you know this Libra is married and you know they're very unhappy. And it may even be a very toxic kind of situation. You might know that the person that they're with is, you know, God forbid, a terrible person or a toxic person. But they can't leave. They can't leave. There's financial situations. They're not in a situation where they can come out of that relationship and survive financially, right? And so they might be trying to heal this relationship. Some of you where you are unwillingly in a third-party situation, or you got yourself into this situation and it's a third-party situation with a Libra, your Libra may be telling you, I can't see you anymore because I'm going to go to counseling with this person, or I'm going to try to heal this relationship. And then you're just all of a sudden like, why would you do this? Like, why would you try to go and be with this person who's so abusive or so toxic towards you? But they need to do it as a part of their healing, okay? As a part of their healing and as a part of them taking care of their obligations and their responsibilities, they need to clear this energy. Okay, you don't want Libra to come into a relationship with you if they have unfinished business. Okay, so for some of you, right, you're closer to this union to others. Some of you, this Libra is not married and they want to give you this, but financially they're not there yet. Some of you, your Libra wants to get out of a marriage, but financially they can't afford to. Okay, so it's a general reading. It's going to be different for different ones of you. But what you can do in the meantime, this is also a card of connecting with the higher self. Especially those of you that you're in this energy where you're like, I really like Libra, but I feel like all we ever do is jump into bed. And, you know, it's just my feelings are getting involved and I don't know where this is going and I don't have any kind of a commitment and their life is up in the air and my life is up in the air. Like, you may need to retreat and come into this connection with your higher power. You may need to come into like a spiritual marriage. Okay, and focus on that so that you can do your own healing and so that you can open your door to that commitment, right? To tell the universe, I'm making a new contract with the universe. I will only accept the relationship that is going to come in with commitment, loyalty, you know, fidelity, somebody who is not going to be out there with other people. So it's up to you to connect with that energy. Some of you are having to, like I said, bow out of a situation or remove yourself from a situation, even though there's a strong love or a strong connection there, until this person can, you know, feel ready and get it together so that they can come back and offer you that, right? Next here we have healing family issues. I told you right off the bat, I felt Libra did have some stuff with family and some of it could be financially based. So there's some family issues here. And so it says your love life benefits is you forgive your parents, right? So Libra does have family things, financial things that are going on. Libra's family might be very opinionated about who Libra is with, and they may be trying to protect you from that. Okay, so this is something that you can do in the meantime, Crosswatcher, is as, you know, you're kind of working on yourself and Libra's dealing with their own little battles here. You know, take a look at your own views of love. You know, what kind of example did your grown-ups in your childhood leave you in terms of love and relationships and marriage and family and all that stuff? And look at what can be cleared. Look at what can be forgiven. Look at what you need to forgive yourself for or accept yourself for or love yourself for, right? This is a good time to do some clearing and some releasing, okay? Again, it's going to be different for different ones of you. This is a general reading. It's going to apply in different ways. I feel that for some of you, Spirit is wanting you to understand something, is that you may feel like there's this Libra that really, like, you're like, this is my person and I want to be with this person. Like, you know, they need to leave their other relationship. If there's a situation where there are children involved, and you know this Libra's kind of powerless against you. You know this Libra can't resist you. You know this Libra's in love with you, you know, intoxicated by you, whatever it might be. If there are children in the picture, Spirit is asking you, Crosswatcher, to be respectful of that, right? To be respectful of that. You know, this child needs to grow up in a home, in this case, in this instance, you know, with the parents together and without the fighting and the arguing that's going to come from, you know, them giving into pressure or giving into temptation. So if you are actively like doing things to make it hard for Libra to stay in their current relationship and there's a child involved, Spirit is asking you to consider that, okay? And that is important. That is an innocence there. That is a purity there, okay? Or if you're in a relationship and you're wanting to leave, right? If it's not an abusive relationship, if this is not somebody who's being physically abusive, emotionally abusive, if there's a possibility to work things out, you know, there's a child here that's being asked for you to consider, and that this child needs to be the priority or, you know, the motivation to try to make things work out or to try to heal things or to leave a better example. Okay, that's just one layer I'm getting. It's a very specific message. It's not going to be for every single one of you, but you know who you are if it's for you. And don't have any judgment about it. You know, don't have any guilt over whatever may have happened in the past. Whatever happened in the past, it happened. It's done. It's done. It's water under the bridge. You know, leave it behind you. Don't obsess about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just simply moving forward. Remember that, you know, gosh, there's a saying I once heard and I thought it was beautiful. It said, God will never send you somebody else's husband or wife, right? God will never send you somebody else's husband, somebody else's wife. And there's this whole thing about the twin flame, guys. That's a whole other thing, a whole other video. I'm going to have to make a video about what my stance is on the twin flame, but there's a lot of misconceptions about how it's this crazy dysfunctional relationship and you're married or they're married, and you know there's like this third party stuff happening, and that's not, guys. A twin flame is a very high vibrational thing, and it's not like, it's just, there's a lot to it, and hopefully soon I can find time to make a video to explain the twin flame as what has come to me in meditation and what I have seen. But, you know, again, like, it's just, some things need to be worked out. And instead of being angry, instead of being bitter about working a relationship out or somebody else making a working relationship out, just try to keep in mind the family dynamic, and that is a sacred and special thing. So for some of you, you're being asked to consider that, my darlings. Overall, I feel like this Libra, you know, for most of you, will find their way to you, right? They just have to clear out this issue, right? And maybe they just need these kids or this kid to grow up a little bit more before they can leave this relationship, right? It doesn't mean that you all can never be together. But while there's this other relationship, let this person get it figured out. Or let this person get their life together before they can step up in a way where they're able to commit, right? Where they're able to give you a commitment or a marriage. Okay, but I just do think there's a lot of love here. A lot of love and maybe some very tricky timing. I do think this is a matter of timing for many of you, my dears. The Libra love reading will be up in the next couple of days. That's going to be more in Libra's viewpoint, through Libra's eyes. This is more of like a bird's eye view, bigger picture, what you need to know in the situation. But if you want to check out their love reading for November and your own, you know, for your sign, Crosswatcher, feel free to do so. It'll be up in a couple of days. If you'd like a private reading, go ahead and click on the Calendly link in the description of this video, and you'll be able to watch you'll be able to schedule a private reading with me there if you would like. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. I'm wishing you a fabulous week, my dears. A fabulous month, my dears.